Liz, take it away. Sorry, you didn't have to go back to your seat.
That's all right. Good evening. Thank you to the town of Webster, town board members and deputy supervisor for letting me speak on this issue that I've been thinking about the last few weeks. As a Webster resident, I have been noticing these past few months that the litter on our roadways have become an eyesore. Now, recently, like in the past day or so, I know we're now in the spring season and businesses are starting to be aware of what's on their property and having landscapers come in and pick up. But prior to the last couple of days, I have taken upon myself to, as a resident of Webster, I want to live in a nice environment, as do all of you. So I have gone out numerous times and picked up stuff at North Ponds Park. I have picked up stuff in the property behind Wendy's, across the street, at that business where the AT&T business is. And recently I just went over to the AMC movie theater and picked up stuff on their green space right in front of the parking lot. And I did speak to the manager of the theater, and he is aware that a lot of the litter that we get on Empire Boulevard tends to come from, whomever that's driving down Empire. It's a very busy roadway, I understand that. But one, I'd like to know who controls that roadway, if it's county, state, or town, because it divides into Webster, into Penfield. So it's a kind of a challenging road to monitor. But one of the culprits, I believe, that is the reason for so much litter is our companies that pick up our garbage. And I can tell you that I have followed a couple garbage trucks over the last few years, and they're not patting down the garbage, or it's when they're flinging the stuff into the garbage trucks, it's just like there's stuff that's left on the ground. And I don't understand. I think it comes from the fact that I know they're in a rush, they have to do their job. But, as a resident, I would think that if that's on their property, that the homeowner would say, oh, there's stuff that's on the ground, I need to pick that up, but many don't. And so what happens is on windy days, as we have had in the last few months, that stuff gets traveled into someone else's property. The biggest concern I have along with that is there's a lot of areas along Webster that are considered, I don't call them dead zones, but I don't know who owns the property. They're woodsy areas on Empire across from CVS. And so nobody's monitoring that property. So what happens is it becomes like a garbage dump. I don't know, I'm very aware of my surroundings, and when I'm driving, and when you're walking, you see things that you don't see when you're in your car. So I'm asking the town of Webster, and if the supervisor was here, he would be hearing this as well. I really think that as the town, I think we need to take some action, whether it's adopt a highway. I know that's on 490, 590. But I think that as a community, I think we need to take part in that. And that may be to let the businesses on Empire take more ownership. I know the village has, as Ms. Castaldi was telling me the other day, they have a network of a community that takes part in making sure that the village looks presentable. If you're an out-of-towner and you come into a town and you're seeing litter all over, it makes you wonder, what's going on here. I know over the winter things, it's a messy season as far as I'm concerned. And then spring shows up and then you see things that are being exposed. So I guess I'd like to have either the supervisor send out something to, like Waste Management or Casella, I think they just need to tell their employees to be more, I don't know, just when they're doing their job, just be more respectful of when they're removing trash. Secondly, the business in the Empire Boulevard. I would say from the intersection of Shoecraft or Hard Road, Empire, Ridge to Empire, it seems like as you go, now, if you were to drive down there right now, you would say, oh, things look pretty good. Yeah, because some of that I picked up. And as well as, you know, some of the businesses are stepping up and making their businesses look presentable. So I know there are one in particular landlord who owns the 18, that little plaza there across from the old Rite Aid. I think he's a little negligent. I don't know who the person is who owns that property, but I do know from someone who came out of one of the businesses said that they all lease that space from this landlord. So I don't know if you guys have access to who owns properties throughout Webster, but it would make me feel better if, you know, something can be, you know, acted on, you know, whether it's something we could connect like with the village, and maybe these businesses on Empire could take some part in, because I'm sorry, it's, a few weeks ago, it was like, really? This is awful. And I'm very, I don't know, I'm just, because I go down Empire constantly, and I'm more aware of that, what I'm seeing. So if that's something that you, as the town board, could maybe think about, maybe try to, I don't know, I'm up for any other ideas, but.
Liz, thank you. I think we're probably closing in on 5 minutes, but I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We did speak the other day at length, and first of all, I want to thank you for being so passionate about it and for going out and actually taking action and cleaning up. I did want to be sure that you were wearing gloves and you were wearing some sort of safety equipment while you're doing this. We don't want you to be injured. I believe that it's a State Route 404, which would be Ridge Road, Empire Boulevard through there. I also did speak with our Director of Communications about the possibility of putting something out from the town with a message that we need to be mindful of keeping our community clean and being sure that we can all be proud of it. So as far as the supervisor, I'm pretty sure he's probably watching tonight, so I'm sure he heard you. And if not, we will talk about it next week.
Okay.
But I know that when I've been gone for the past few weeks, on Thursday nights, I'm tuning into the meeting and watching it, so I suspect he is too. And we'll do what we can. Yes, thank you, appreciate it.